I was getting nowhere in a hurry. Psychologically, I was a mess. Living was a headache and a worry, which is par for the course, more or less. To play it safe, I played it alone, and my life was a hopeless bore. But I'm happy to say, since you came my way, I'm not on my own anymore. Days were merely routine till you came into view. You arrived on the scene like a bolt from the blue, not a moment too soon. Nights were dismal and dull, my acquaintances few. It was a lull after lull till I ran into you, not a moment too soon, not a second too fast, not a minute too late. My depression is past, and my future looks positively great. I was crying the blues just an instant before. Now you're here and it's perfectly clear you're the one I was meant to adore. It was time to a tea. You've done wonders for me. I'm in love and it happens to be not a moment too soon, not a second too fast, not a minute too late. My depression is past, and my future looks positively great. I was crying the blues just an instant before. Now you're here and it's perfectly clear you're the one I was meant to adore. It was time to a tea. You done wonders for me. I'm in love and it happens to be not a moment too soon. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. But rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we hope we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me, all of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailor? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La da da dee. the lovers, the dreamers, and me. The girl of my dreams has 3 names, and my most important of aims is to win her, you see. She is special to me, not like all those other dames. I saw modern Millie, then first you cry, just to see her face on the telly, and endless reruns of Dick Van Dyke, turning my brain to jelly. And then just the other day, I saw Whose Life Is It Anyway, for the 5th time. I love you, Mary Tyler Moore. What happiness we would have in store if you could love me just a little bit. Our life together would be a long-run hit. I love you, Mary Tyler Moore. Without your reruns, life would be a bore. I love your dancing, your singing is a wow. My ears are ringing with the music of it now. Your charming sputter, your timing supreme, turns me to butter. You're an Anglo-Saxon dream. I love you, oh sweet MTM, and I'm looking for a stratagem. Sue Ann Nivens and Georgette do not give me a thrill. Mary Richards, I'm longing for you still. I will stay here and rave and rant, though you've tinkered around with Grant. I love you, Mary Tyler Moore. Get out of that hospital bed and come out to my place instead. I love you, Mary Tyler Moore. If I could just get you alone, or would you please send in a clone? Oh, how I love you, Mary Tyler Moore. Have you seen the karaoke? It's not a foxtrot or a polka. It's just a little bit of new rhythm, a blue rhythm that sighs. It's got a meter that is tricky, a sort of wicked wacky wicky. But when you dance it with your new love, there'll be true love in her eyes. You'll dream of a new karaoke. Its theme is a kiss and a sigh. You'll dream of the new karaoke when music and lights are gone and we're saying goodbye. In me you see a sinner, and singing is my crime. It seems a sin, I've got to give in to syncopated time. It makes me lose my dignity, it makes me lose my poise. And though I call it music, some folks call it noise. I like music, old or new, but music makes me do the things I never should do. I like music, sweet or blue, but music makes me do things that I never should do. My self-control was something to brag about, now it's a gag about town. The things I do are never forgiven, 'cause just when I'm living them down, I hear music, then I'm through, 'cause music makes me do the things I never should. Shoo ya da ba do, shoo ya do ba do ba do ya do ba do ya do ba do ya do 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 do. Shoo ya da ba da, shoo ya da ba da. It makes me do the things I never should do. Shoo ya da ba da ba do ya do ba do ya do ba do do do. Shoot doo shoot doo. It makes me do the things I never should do. My self-control was something to brag about, now it's a gag about town. The things I do are never forgiven, 'cause just when I'm living them down, I hear music, then I'm through, 'cause music makes me do the things I never should do. When orchids bloom in the moonlight and lovers vow to be true, I still can dream in the moonlight of one dear night that we knew. When orchids fade in the dawning, they speak of tears and goodbye. Though my dreams are shattered like the petals scattered, still my love can never die. There is peace in the twilight when the day is through, but the shadows that fall only seem to recall all my longing for you. There's a dream in the moonlight upon the sea of blue, but the moonbeams that fall only seem to recall love is all, love is you. An old sailor in old times would sing an old song, rolling down to Rio by the sea. A young sailor in these times will sing a new song, flying down to Rio, come with me, where the lovely Brazilian ladies will catch your eye, with the light of a million stars in the evening sky. Rio by the sea, oh, flying down to Rio where there's music and rhyme. Say, fella, twirl that old propeller, flying down to Rio, and we've got to make time. You love it, soaring high above it, looking down on Rio from the heavens of blue. Send a radio to Rio de Janeiro with a big hello, just so they'll know, and stand by there, we'll fly there. Oh, Rio, everything will be okay. We're singing and winging our way to you. looking down on Rio from the heavens of blue. Send a radio to Rio de Janeiro with a big hello just so they'll know, and stand by there, we'll fly there. Oh, Rio, everything will be okay. We're singing and winging our way to you. Thank you. Once again, on the bass, Mr. Jack Six. Has it really come to this? You are leaving me this way for another romance, and you say with a glance, have a nice day. After all that we've been through, is there nothing more to say? As you leave me alone to survive on my own, have a nice day. No one will love you or care for you like I. So if you go, I must kiss my dreams goodbye. If you leave me, I won't know if it's cloudy or it's gray. But believe it or don't, I know that I won't. Have a nice day. How can we end it with all our dreams in sight? I'd like to defend it, but is it worth the fight? I am trying to control all the things I do and say. I won't rave, I won't rant, but I know that I can't. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. This next song was written by Michael Flanders and Donald Swan. I like to call it my swan song. She was young, she was pure, she was new, she was nice, she was fair, she was sweet 17. He was old, he was vile, and no stranger to vice. He was base, he was bad, he was mean. He had slyly inveigled her up to his flat to view his collection of stamps, all unperforated. And he said as he hastened to put out the cat, the wine, his cigar, and the lamps, "Have some Madeira, my dear. You really have nothing to fear. I'm not trying to tempt you, that wouldn't be right. One shouldn't drink spirits at this time of night. Have some Madeira, my dear. It's very much nicer than beer. I don't care for sherry, one cannot drink stout. Port is a wine I can well do without. It's simply a case of chacun a son gout. So have some, Madeira, Madeira. Unaware of the wiles of the snake in the grass, of the fate of the maiden who topes, she lowered her standards by raising her glass, her courage, her eyes, and his hopes. She sipped it, she drank it, she drained it, she did. He quietly refilled it again, and he said, as he secretly carved one more notch on the butt of his gold-handled cane, "Have some Madeira, me dear. I've got a small cask of it here, and once it's been opened, you know it won't keep. Do finish it up, it will help you to sleep. Have some Madeira, me dear. It's really an excellent year. Now, if it were gin, you'd be wrong to say yes. The evil gin does would be hard to assess. Besides, it's inclined to affect me prowess. So have some Madeira, me dear." Then there flashed through her mind what her mother had said with her antepenultimate breath. "Oh, my child, should you gaze on the wine when 'tis red, be prepared for a fate worse than death." She let go her glass with a shrill little cry. Ah! Crash, tinkle, it fell to the floor. When he asked, "What in heaven?" she made no reply. Up her mind and a dash for the door. "Have some Madeira, me dear," rang out down the hall loud and clear, a tremulous cry that was filled with despair as she paused to take breath in the cool midnight air. "Have some Madeira, me dear." The words seemed to ring in her ear until the next morning she woke up in bed with a smile on her lips and an ache in her head and a beard in her ear hole that tickled and said, "Have some Madeira, Madeira." Ha ha ha! Once I laughed when I heard you saying that I'd be playing solitaire, uneasy in my easy chair. It never entered my mind. Once you told me I was mistaken, that I'd awaken with the sun and order orange juice for one. It never entered my mind you have what I lack myself. And now I even have to scratch my back myself. Once you warned me that if you scorned me, I'd say a lonely prayer again and wish that you were there again to get into my hair again. It never entered my mind. I don't care if there's lint upon my clothes. I don't care if my necktie is in place. I've lost the very meaning of repose. And socially, I've become a disgrace. Oh, who'd have thought that I'd walk in a daze now? I never go to shows at night, but just to matinees now. I see the show, then home I go. Once you said in your funny lingo that I'd play bingo day and night and never get the numbers right. It never entered my mind. Once you told me I'd stay up Sunday and read the Monday morning dirt to find you merging with some squirt. It never entered my mind. Life is not so sweet alone. The man who came to dinner has to eat alone. I confess it, I didn't guess it, that I would sit and mope again. And all the while I'd hope again to see my darling dope again. It never entered my mind. Little train song. My cutie's due at 222. She's coming through on a big choo-choo. She's been away for months, but I haven't cheated once. I stayed home nights, I didn't dance, I wasn't taking any chance. I didn't flirt, and though it hurt, I just couldn't do my cutie dirt. My days were blue, my nights were black, but I just knew that she'd come back, 'cause I love her and she loves me. And say, don't think there ain't no Santa Claus. I know darn well there is, because my cutie's due at 222 today. stuff. I can't get there fast enough. Take me to that train from way out west. I'm just jumping in my shoes, 'cause there ain't no time to lose. Got a date 168 with the one that I love best. My cuties do at 222. She's coming through on a big choo-choo. She's been away for months, but I haven't cheated once. I stayed home nights, I didn't dance, I wasn't taking any chance. I didn't flirt, and though it hurt, I just couldn't do my cutie dirt. My days were blue, my nights were black, but I just knew that she'd come back, 'cause I love her and she loves me. And say, tonight I'll disconnect the phone, because we want to be alone. My cuties do at 222 today. And when I feel her lips on mine, I won't let go till 9:30. My cuties do at 222 today. I'm sick and I'm tired and I'm worn to a thread. I'm nearly exhausted, I'm practically dead. I've said every word there is to be said, except just to tell you, I'm going to bed. Miss Williams, it's time to go home. The party is over, the champagne is flat. The last hors d'oeuvre served to that miserable cat. So why don't you put on your shoes and your hat? Miss Williams, it's time to go home. Miss Williams, it's time to go home. The house is a shambles, the rug is a mess. They'll just have to do the place over, I guess. So do rearrange what is left of your dress. Miss Williams, it's time to go home. When they brought you in here 18 hours ago, with your face all in place and those curls row on row, I asked, how do you do and whom do you know? What I should have inquired was, friend or foe? Miss Williams, it's time to go home. The guests have all left, plus the hostess and host. The butler informs me they've flown to the coast. Stop sitting there, dear, like 2/3 of a ghost. Miss Williams, it's time to go home. Miss Williams, it's time to go home. The party is over, and may I be frank, you look like a leftover Halloween prank. You never did eat, but ye gods how you drank. Miss Williams, it's time to go home. Miss Williams, it's time to go home. A real darling girl you indubitably are, but you smashed 16 glasses and knocked over the bar. And I'm warning you, sweetie, don't push me too far. Miss Williams, it's time to go home. You've guzzled martinis, plus olives, plus pits. The servants are livid, the cook's having fits. My nerves are all shattered and shredded to bits. Now you'll either go quiet or put up your mitts. Miss Williams, it's time to go home. I've plied you with coffee, put eggs in your beer. I've tried to be nice, but my breaking point's near. So if I close my eyes, will you just disappear? Miss Williams, 1, 2, 3, go!